Hey, how you doing YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 sleeper teams to make the NBA Finals. Now obviously we know teams like Boston, Toronto, Golden State, Houston, and teams all like that are going to be competing for the NBA Finals this year, and I'm not going to be talking about them. I'm going to be talking about some of the teams that are getting slept on and could actually be competing for an NBA Final. Now some of these teams on this list, yes I know there's not a very likely chance, especially for 2 of them, that they're going to make the finals, but there is a slight chance at it happening. So don't get too triggered if you're like, there's no way that's going to happen. Most likely, probably not going to happen. Most likely, the Golden State Warriors will win, but I'm going to be giving my thoughts on 5 teams that should be at least in contention for the NBA title. So without further ado, without rambling on too much, just get right into this video. Alright, so my first team for this video is going to be the San Antonio Spurs. Now, in their first 3 games, they are now 2-1, but one of the biggest questions is how can DeMar DeRozan really mesh with the San Antonio Spurs, and he has shown that he can still play at that all-star and maybe even a superstar level for the Spurs, as he's had a great season thus far, averaging 29.3 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 9 assists per game. And I mean, these are some of the best numbers we've seen DeMar DeRozan put up a long time, and maybe without playing alongside Kyle Lowry and being the actual playmaker, all the offenses running through DeMar DeRozan, he might be able to average that 30 points per game and become a solidified superstar, because that is a big question. Is he an all-star player or is he a superstar level player, and can you build a team around DeMar DeRozan? No one really knows that right now, and I think this year is really going to show it. And as he started this season so far, he has shown that he can, and he just beat the Lakers in a hard-fought game in overtime and showed that they can persevere in a absolute dogfight. So I mean, DeMar DeRozan has shown that he can be a great leader and to lead a team into the playoffs. But then also, I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge is also picking up where he left off last year, averaging 23.3 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, and 1.7 blocks per game. So I mean, he's still a very good player. LaMarcus Aldridge, one of the top power forwards in the game. He really had a breakout year last year, and I'm sure he's going to continue to have a breakout year this year. Then Rudy Gay, he's shown that he's a very good role player, and I mean, he's averaging 15 points per game off their bench. So not off their bench, but he's like starting, but he's still a very good role player for him. And you need those role players that can give you those type of points every single game, and you can rely on them to at least help the star players out. But then also, I mean, Greg Popovich, when you have a coach like him that understands the league like him, he's going to have a good defense no matter what. Even with the losses of Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, and DeJounte Murray. Kawhi Leonard, one of the best defensive players in the entire league. DeJounte Murray, all defensive second team last year. Danny Green, very good defensive player, and he's still going to have one of the top defensive teams in the entire league, despite DeMar DeRozan not really being known for defense and having a semi-unathletic team as well. So, I mean, I'm sure they're still going to have a very nice defensive team with Greg Popovich coaching that, and with all that, I think that they should be a very high team on people's list, and I think they've been slept on since the beginning of the season, and even before the season, ever since they traded for DeMar DeRozan. But now my second team for this video is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks, as, I mean, obviously they have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, yeah, I butchered his last name, but I mean, I'm sorry, he has a weird last name, but I mean, he's still emerging as one of the NBA's best young stars, and is definitely a superstar, and definitely will be one of the best players in the entire NBA one day. Probably a top 3 player. No, right now he's probably a top 10 player, but I'm sure once LeBron retires and all that, he will be a top 5 player once he hits his prime and everything. So I mean, obviously, he's doing beast things. He's unguardable. He's the leader of the team, and he's that superstar that you need to have on a championship-containing team. But also, I mean, with the emergence of Chris Middleton this year, I know it's only been 3 games, but he's a dude I've been very high on for ever since he really came in the league, to be honest. And I really am happy to see him finally doing well, as he is averaging 24 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, and 3.3 assists per game. But the most important thing is he's one of the most efficient players in the league. He is shooting 58% from the field and 65% from the 3. He's scoring very efficiently, and I mean, I know he's not going to be able to keep that up. Those numbers are going to go down, but I don't think they're going to be going down a lot at all. So I mean, with that addition, with Giannis just being a beast, Chris Middleton emerging as that second potential star player on their team, they should be very high off to be able to really start getting things rolling, getting the ball rolling for Giannis and get him some help. Eric Bledsoe still a very solid starting point guard. Who else do they have at power forward, small forward? Are they starting Malcolm Brogdon? I'm not sure. Bucks fan comment below, are they starting Malcolm Brogdon? But also a big pickup in the Free agency, I think one of the biggest for any teams, Brook Lopez. Now, I guess his stats aren't eye-popping, but he's really helping them grab boards and have that veteran leadership. It is showing as they're actually able to be competent on the boards and be one of the better rebounding teams in the league. But now my third team is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, yes, I mean, they're hyped up as one of the best teams in the league, and people just like to say, oh, the Lakers could make the finals. But let's be honest, no one really expects the Lakers to make the finals, maybe not even the conference finals this year. And with them starting off 0-3, a lot of people are becoming skeptical. Now, I don't think that they're going to be a horrible team, and I do think they're going to make the playoffs at the 4 or 5 seed. I had them in my own kind of playoff rankings at the 4 or the 5 seed, kind of interchangeable. But I mean, with LeBron on your team, you're going to make the playoffs, and anytime you have LeBron on your team, you have a chance to make the finals. But I mean, Brandon Ingram has been showing all the signs that he has the potential for a breakout year. He's having a very good year. Yes, he just got suspended, but I mean, besides that, his year has been very good. LeBron has been helping him play a lot. LeBron's been hyping him up and kind of like really making him good, and he's just been having a very solid year so far. Kyle Kuzma has been great as well. I think he went for like 30 last game, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, he's been scoring having a very good sophomore season. Lonzo had a decent game. So, with all their young guys, they're going to start developing and be even better at the end of the year. And I'm sure by the time playoffs roll around, they're going to have everything in order. And anytime you have LeBron, you have a chance to make the NBA Finals. But now my fourth team is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, this team might surprise y'all a lot. And, I mean, being a New Orleans Pelicans fan and seeing these first 3 games, they're 3-0 now. I'm getting excited. I mean, Anthony Davis is playing like he's the best player in the league, and like he thinks he's the best player in the league, and he's playing like that. He probably will get the MVP this season if he continues to play like this. He's been playing unbelievable. I think he had 5 blocks today and 34 points in the win against the Clippers. So, I mean, they blew out the Rockets, they blew out the Kings, and now they just won a dogfight against the Clippers. So, I mean, with that, I think that they were going to be a very nice team, but not only Anthony Davis, because obviously they've had Anthony Davis for a couple years now, and I mean, just Anthony Davis is not enough. But now they have finally built a team around him. As the 2 additions, and Elfrid Payton and Julius Randle, have been fitting in perfectly. They're both averaging over 14 points per game. Elfrid Payton is fitting into that fast-paced style of play. I think he's averaging like 14 points and 8 rebounds and 8 assists, almost a triple-double. The dude's being an absolute beast for us, really fitting in the system. Julius Randle's getting that really good pound, like he's gonna in there grab boards, do everything, do all the dirty work that you need a player to do. And they're also forming a very nice big 3. They have Anthony Davis, Nikola Mirotic, and Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday, he hasn't been putting up points wise, and that's why a lot of people are sleeping on him, but defensively and assisting wise and just doing everything that you need a good point guard to do, he is doing everything. Jrue Holiday is locking people down, he's assisting the ball, getting boards, doing everything else besides scoring. Once the scoring comes around, he's going to be very nice. Nikola Mirotic has had 2 30-plus games, almost had a 40-plus game the other night. He had I think he came back down to earth, had like 18 or 20-point game, so still a very good night for Nikola Mirotic. And then AD, obviously a top 3 player in the league. He's an absolute beast, and I'm sure that, I mean, anytime you have Anthony Davis on your team, you have a chance to be great. And with the team they build around him, you never know. Maybe one injury to the Warriors, and they have a chance to bust through the Western Conference. But now, let's get into the last team for the list, the Indiana Pacers. Now, this team I think has the least chance to make it, only because I don't think they have a good enough team around them. They have a very good team, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I don't think they can compete with the Boston or the Toronto Raptors, because I mean, Toronto Raptors just out-talent them, and Boston Celtics, they just out-def them. And I mean, I don't think Oladipo, being an all-star level player, is an absolute beast, very explosive. I don't think Oladipo and Miles Turner are enough to really stop him, but I do think that they do have a little bit chance, because I mean, Oladipo, like I said, he's continuing to play like an all-star. He's been playing like a beast this year as well. Miles Turner, he's going to continue to improve. He's very young and could be a high point for this team this year. And then Aaron Holiday, the rookie they drafted, I'm extremely high on him. He has upside, very explosive, showed in the summer league. Hopefully he gets to play a little bit more. I'm very excited to see what he does. But unfortunately, guys, that can be it for this video. So comment below, what team do you think has the biggest chance out of all the teams on this list to make the finals? What sleepers do you think I missed on? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. And I mean, I just have to thank y'all for all the support y'all been showing. I mean, we're at 964 subscribers. We're less than 40 subs away. Cannot thank y'all enough from 1K. I mean, dude, 1K, when we hit that, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to keep going, keep grinding through it, and hopefully get to 2, 3, 4, 5K maybe with y'all guys. It'll be amazing. I can't wait. Just have y'all guys along the journey every step of the way with me, and I just cannot thank y'all for the support y'all been showing. And I also have to give all praise to God. I mean, he's blessed me with all these things he's put in my position. Like, he's blessed me with like this computer, he blessed me with all these ideas that he puts in my head for his videos. He blesses me like with the people in my circle. He blesses me like for you guys to even find my channel. He just blessed me for this motivation. I really think this is what God put me on earth to do, and I'm gonna keep on doing it every single day for you guys. I'm gonna keep grinding out videos literally every single day for you guys. Trust me, I love this. I love doing this. That's all I want to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it until this is what I do on the daily. But yeah, like I said, if you did like the video, put like button and subscribe button. Hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. See you tomorrow's video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.